Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Nikki again from Peace of Mind Aging Life Consulting. I hope everyone's had a wonderful day. It's so beautiful here in North Carolina. It's warm and sunny and just puts you in a great mood. I wanted to hop on a minute to let you know, if you didn't already, that I have added a blog to my website. So www.peaceofmindaginglifeconsulting.com now has a blog section that I will be writing as often as I can. I'm going to try to do it at least a couple of times a week, just to add some information that I feel like might be helpful to folks who are caregivers, or even folks who might be aging themselves, some tips and different things that may be helpful. So my most recent blog post was in regards to how to effectively interact with a patient who has a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's or some sort of cognitive deficit. A lot of times in the senior industry, patients who have those cognitive deficits, when they behave a certain way that's not positive, they're referred to as negative behaviors. I don't fully agree with that, because these people have a legitimate deficit. Part of their neurological function is no longer working, and their response to things, their reaction to things is not always rational. And a lot of times when you see a patient who has a cognitive deficit and they are responding in a way that may be a little disruptive or not positive, it may be because there's a need that's not being met. Maybe that person is in pain, or they're hungry, or they need to be changed, or they're bored, or they're hot, or they're cold. And a lot of times it's being able to effectively learn how to communicate with that person in a way that doesn't cause additional agitation, but helps to make sure that that person is treated with respect and dignity. One thing that I mentioned in my blog that I think is very important to remember is a patient or a person that has these challenges, these cognitive deficits, they are no less of a human being than you or I, and should never ever be treated as such. So for example, if you are a caregiver in skilled nursing, for example, and you have a resident who is at the nurse's station and he's hollering and he's upset, maybe he's saying a word or two, it is never appropriate to tell that person to shut up or to stop it, because they can't rationalize that like you or I, because it's not necessarily an intentional response. The most effective thing to do in that situation is, number one, if it's in an environment where there's a lot of people, or there's something that potentially is agitating that person, try to quietly remove them from the situation. One thing that I have found in the past is, if it's pretty outside, take the person outside to sit for a little bit. Talk to them just like you would talk to anyone else, just much softer and slower. And you can typically kind of read the situation as far as if it's appropriate, if it's okay, maybe to touch the person's hand really lightly, if that seems to calm them. A lot of times I'll try that. For some people, music is a wonderful, wonderful therapeutic tool, where it helps to redirect their mind off of whatever it is that upset them, and helps to change their mood. Being able to figure out if there is a legitimate need that's not being met, and that's why, you know, they're trying to get some extra attention. You know, are they hungry? Have they eaten lately? Are they tired? Ooh, there's a bee. Are they tired? Do they want to rest? Are they uncomfortable? Are they in pain? Those types of things. And a lot of times you can tell some other nonverbal signs that'll show you some of those things. If they're, you know, kind of wiggling in their chair, you know, that could be a sign that they're uncomfortable or they're having some pain. So there again, check out my blog. The biggest reason that I wanted to blog about that as my second topic is that is something that that I'm very passionate about. Is, you know, obviously, you know, senior adults are still human beings, no matter what age or stage of life that they're in, whether it's a new diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia, or they are at the end stages where maybe they are nonverbal, maybe they have Lewy body and can get combative and angry. There are ways, there are natural ways to be able to help those folks in those situations that are effective without first resort being medication. I'm a strong believer in holistic interventions when necessary, and there's a lot of that in the blog post about, you know, essential oils, gentle hand massage with maybe a lavender scented lotion, manipulative therapy, you know, being able to just let them manipulate something in their hands, whether that's a squeezy toy like a ball or stress ball, or you know, some beads, or even a bowl of rice, something that they can mess with their hands. A lot of times with ladies, we have found that especially ladies who in their younger days were homemakers, if you give them some washcloths, they like to fold the washcloths because that's what they were used to doing when they you know, were doing their housewife duties. So thank you guys again for all of your support. I'm gonna try there again to kind of come on periodically and do a little video just to discuss some different things in regards to the blog, to the website, to the business, you know, how things are going, any events that we have coming up. I'm gonna have those videos on there as well, just to help remind folks. So please check out my blog when you have time. I also now have a YouTube channel. There's not much to it because it's new, so I'm still adding to it, but you can find Peace of Mind Aging Life Consulting on YouTube, and I would love so much if you would like and subscribe to that. This bee, sorry. There's your entertainment. But if you would like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. You can also find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, all over the place. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And again, thanks so much. Have a great evening.